are now watching The Leaping Lemur.
What's up, it's Jamani. Currently at home, laying down, feeling bad for myself, thinking, I feel like I have no other choice but to be the best version of myself, whatever that is, because it's like I'm not gonna survive doing what I've been doing. I'm not self-disciplined enough to do what I need to do, and I know what I want to do. I haven't changed anything that I've wanted to do since I was like 7 years old.
Well, y'all, welcome back to another video. Today, I have some pretty crazy shit to talk about. Now, last time I talked about Jumanne, this dude was talking about how he was stalking some girl from his high school. He was saying that he wanted to talk to her, he wanted to reach out to her again, so he sent his fan base after her to, I guess, try to get her attention. Now, this was a woman that he met like years and years ago and hasn't talked to since high school. He's like a grown-ass man now, but he still felt the need to reach out to her because he said he felt comfortable with her. Anyway, it was the stupidest shit in the world. If you want to go back and watch that video, you can check it out. It kind of shows how deranged this dude is, but recently he relapsed. Now, if you don't know the lore behind this dude, he had a gambling addiction, and this is kind of a part of what makes Jamani a lolcow, because he keeps feeding into this addiction no matter what, and he'll post about it. People will watch it because they want to see him fail, and this is kind of what he talks about in this video. He seems to blame his audience for this cycle and not himself, even though he's actively feeding into it by posting these videos for these people to watch. I think this situation has been made even worse because recently Jumanne got a job, so he has money to spend, and every time he gets a paycheck, he decides to spend it on gambling. So now he has his YouTube income and then his money from being a breakfast attendant at the Holiday Inn he stays at. So he's, double dipping a little bit, and now he's got a little bit of extra expenses to gamble with. He's wasting it all. And obviously I didn't make this video to just dunk on this dude because he's got an addiction. That'd be fucked up. But the video that you guys are about to see is the introduction that I got into this whole situation, this whole relapse that happened. He made a public video where he talked about how he relapsed and then got a new job, and then he expected the comments to be positive. He expected people not to want to see him fail, but his audience actually wanted to see him fail, and that video ended up doing great, which kind of made him butthurt because he was wondering why all his other content doesn't do great, but people want to see him fail. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of how the internet works, man. Sometimes people want to see you fail. That's how it is being a lolcow. If you say fucked up shit or do fucked up things or, try to clout chase, people are going to want to see you fail. And this doesn't just go for lolcows. This goes for anybody. Like, any public figure can have a video made on them that's like the downfall of so-and-so, and it may get 1 million views, and next thing you know, it's the trend. A bunch of other people are making videos on it. That's just how the internet works. So he made this video where he talks about how he's disappointed in his audience, and he tries to moral grandstand even though he's posting these videos of him gambling. He knows what he's doing, and now he wants to complain about it, complain that people actually watch them. You just had a major controversy where you were trying to stalk some random chick. Of course people want to see you fail at this moment. People just don't like you right now, dude. They've never really liked you because of the clout chasing bullshit that you do. I'm surprised this dude is even able to get a job in food service considering what he did at the Subway. It's pretty nasty. Now, a lot of people claim that he didn't feed anybody that food, but like, what do you expect? If he's throwing food on the ground and then you see him putting it back, what do you think he's gonna do with that food? He's making it seem like he's feeding people that food, even if he didn't, right? Even if he claims he never did, it doesn't matter. That was the point of the video, was to make it look like he was feeding people nasty shit. So this dude's just fucked up all around, and then he's wondering why people hate him and think that he deserves to fail. Just watch this video, y'all.
Hey, what's up? It's Jamani. This is my analytics. This is my most recent video. It's actually #1 right now. The video that I recently uploaded today, literally a few hours ago, 3 hours and 30 minutes ago, is Relapse and New Job. I seen a lot of the comments. And the point is, right, I lost respect for a lot of my following because it's very obvious, it's very clear. I mean, I already knew this, but as I start to become more popular and build more of a following, and based on the different videos that I upload, I could see what people are engaging with and what people are not engaging with. It's just, I'm reaching higher levels, so things become a lot more clear where when people start disengaging, and they're not really interested in the content, it's very obvious. And when people are more interested in the content, it's very obvious, because the amount of views that I'm getting are either thousands more or thousands less, where like the last 2 or 3 years, it was kind of going by the hundreds and I couldn't really tell. So the point that I'm trying to make is, it's very, very obvious that people are only engaging with with criticism. If they're not able to criticize me, they're not engaging with my content. Why would I lose respect for that? I mean, why am I saying I'm losing respect for my following? Is because it's clear what you're here for. You're not really here to watch my content. You're not really here to watch me do better. You don't want me to do better. In fact, why would you want me to do better? That defeats the purpose on why you're watching me. And I'm generalizing my main audience. I'm not talking to my unconditional supporters. I'm talking to a lot of people there's people that do want to see me be better and progress, but that's not the majority. That's a minority of people. So with that being said and being understood, I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, you people have so much to say about me in the comments, but you're only there to say something negative. Like, even if I was doing good, you really wouldn't care. Like, the engagement wouldn't be there. You know, you're not here to see me progress. You're not here to help me progress. You're here to criticize me, to help you make yourself feel better, if that's what the case. I don't know why people do this. I don't really care. I'm just saying, like, I'm just speaking on how I feel. Like, I'm really losing respect for a lot of my following. You know what I mean? Regardless of what you say about me, I look at you worse than you look at me, because it's just clear to me that you don't really care about me at all. You only care about being able to criticize me. And my analytics over time is showing me that. Let me look at my most popular videos. I mean, the top 3, it's all controversy. I don't have to tell you that. You already know that. For the most part, it's mostly controversy. And it's like, there's some people that comment more than others. And there's like some people that, like, even the people that make videos about me, they watch me. They watch me consistently. But they only make videos at points of criticism. They don't make videos like, yo, Jamani's actually, they might sprinkle a little bit, like, yeah, he's trying to do better a little bit, but that's not what their content's about. These people that make videos of me, they're waiting for me to crash out. They're waiting so they can get their engagement. You know what I mean? That's what they're there for. Because when somebody that's very unstable as me, like, when you watch the content that I consistently put out over time, I mean, I do have a reputation of being just completely unstable, and you can kind of anticipate the crash out.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody dodge accountability as hard as Jamani's dodging it right now. This dude can't accept the fact that this is all his fault. The only reason that this shit is happening to him is because he keeps feeding into it. He keeps uploading videos. And it's not like YouTube is making him a bunch of money either. It's not his main source of income. He has a job. So he could just quit YouTube and focus on working, maybe going back to school, but instead this dude wants to sit there and gamble all day because that's what people want to see. Nobody's asking you to make this content. If you want to make a channel and show how far you've come, try to motivate people to become a better person, then that's cool, but that's not what you're doing. You've never become a better person. It was all a facade the whole time. Truly, the only thing that Jamani has done to better his life is stop gambling. Once he did that, he did better his life in some aspects, but there was still a lot of issues that he had that still made him a lolcow. For example, asking people to go stalk that woman for him. That had nothing to do with his gambling addiction. That just shows how unhinged he is. So he sort of missed the mark when it came to motivational content because he had so many other issues besides just quitting gambling. That wasn't it. And he thought that that was going to be the cure-all, but it wasn't. He was still a horrible person. There was a lot of bigger stuff in his life that he needed to work on, and he still refuses to work on because he blames the internet. He says, well, the internet watches it, so why should I stop? Maybe because it's better for yourself. I don't know, maybe because you want a better life. That's the biggest motivation that I can think of. Criticizing someone for doing something stupid is human nature. That's what we do. That's how, as a society, we learn right from wrong. It's when somebody tells us what we're doing is dumb, and then we can think about it and be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I was kind of stupid for doing that. Maybe I shouldn't do it again. I'm sure the dude who first touched fire and got burnt had a pretty big crash out, right? And everybody probably laughed at him. And then everybody else looked at that dude getting laughed at and they thought, hey, I don't want to get laughed at either. You know, this is just a hypothetical. I don't know if like humans had that depth of emotion, but you get what I mean, right? Like people would be made fun of and then they would stop doing the stupid stuff that they were doing, and other people would see that that person got made fun of, and then, you know, the masses would not want to do that stupid thing. So I don't know why you're trying to play the moral high ground when you're the one that's doing this dumb stuff that people are watching. Like you're the one that's gambling and ruining your life. People are just criticizing you for the obvious stupid things that you're doing. This is a common trope in horrible people, and I've always hated to see it played out. They'll do something shitty and then they'll be like, look society, look at you reacting to the shitty thing I'm doing. See, this is why I did it. It's because of you people. And it's like, what do you expect these people to do? Of course they're gonna talk shit about you when you do something stupid. That's just how the internet works. You're just trying to flip it around to make it seem like you're somehow better than the people that are criticizing you, when in reality, you're way worse off, dude. You're the one that sits there and records yourself gambling all day and tries to get people to look for your high school sweetheart or whatever. Like, it's crazy that you think your followers would give a shit about you losing respect for them when they have no respect for you to begin with. Who gives a fuck if somebody who they don't respect loses respect for them? Like, why would they care? They're just gonna watch you and laugh at you either way. I don't think anybody cares if you try to insult them, Jamani, the guy who goes and gambles every day and has no life, the loser stalker lolcow. Like, nobody gives a fuck, bro. Like, you can keep dissing your followers and saying that, oh, they're fucked up for watching you, but at the end of the day, you're the one that makes the content. So let's take a moment to look at that video that Jamani was complaining about the comments on, because it's pretty hilarious. Homie literally announces his relapse. I've never seen someone do that before. I don't understand it. I guess he wants to share everything with the internet, but there's some things that you don't have to tell people, man, because then this is what happens. Because then you make a video complaining about what people said in the comments and then turn all your comments off and rage the fuck out.
So this is my first day back at the casino in about 4 weeks. Ended up relapsing. I know I said I was gonna stop gambling, but I got about $580 here.
Select top right.
I'm mostly gonna be gambling off camera, so I don't know. And I'm running out of time. I try to clear it, it ain't clear. That's an unintentional $40. And I'm just gonna switch the machine because it's not working. So that's definitely not the best start unless it hits, but that's unintentional, so. Was unintentional. So what is that, $320 on accident? So I'm about to leave the casino right now. Take about $200 to $300 and pay off some credit card debt. There's a reason why I'm here, making a lot of bad compulsive decisions. But me being in debt plays a big part in why I'm here right now. Obviously, I mean, that's always been the case in my addiction, but yeah, this is not good at all. But, you know what I'm saying, just made $320 on accident, so. So yeah, I just won, but if I'm being completely honest, I feel embarrassed coming here. You know, I'm glad I was able to, you know, hit real quick and then leave, because, you know, when I say that I'm done gambling or I want to stop gambling, I really do mean that. But obviously I'm a compulsive gambling addict. I'm a problem gambler, and I make bad choices. But my whole time here, like, you know, I'm just like coming here, I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? I hope no one sees me, because someone that be watching my content, you know what I mean? Because I'm supposed to be stop gambling right now. And, you know, I think that's the bus too. All right, no. Damn, I'm not getting that lucky where I could just leave right, like, immediately. But like I said, if I say I'm done gambling, then, you know, I really want to mean that, because deep down I know what this done to me, and I know I need to stop, and it's really not beneficial to me. It hasn't been beneficial to me. So, but, you know, got a quick win, so, you know, just take it for what it is. And I'm definitely coming back, and, you know, I'm kind of just gambling off camera. So, yeah, I'm just going to the bank right now, make this deposit, and then paying off some debt.
This dude is wild. He's over here putting $40 down and not even knowing what he's doing. He's like clicking buttons, not really knowing what the fuck's going on. Accidentally places a bet and then wins. I mean, Jamani's fucking wild, y'all. But the dude is in debt anyway. He reveals that he's in debt, like none of that money really goes to him. He's gonna be using the money to pay off his credit card debt. Of course this dude is in debt. He probably spent hella money gambling before this. This is just the first time he's recorded it. And he was lucky enough to get a win on camera, but hell, who knows how much money he lost before then. And it sucks because Jamani was doing good too. He went 4 weeks without gambling, and then he decided to go back because he was in debt. But what I don't understand is why he wouldn't just wait for his paycheck from his job to hit. It's clear that this is more than just him being in debt. It's because he's addicted and he can't stop himself at this point. I don't understand how he can say he's embarrassed going there while simultaneously showing off his winnings to his audience. He's recording himself while he's there, showing himself gambling, and then bragging about his winnings. Then he follows that up by saying he's embarrassed. It doesn't seem like you're very embarrassed. It's definitely shitty to see somebody relapse like that, but he was on track not to do it again, and yet he still went back. And his excuse is the debt, but I don't think it was the debt. I think that it was people in his comments wanting him to gamble, and he knows that shit gets some views. And instead of admitting that, he flipped it on his audience and made that first video where he's calling them out because that's the only thing they're watching. Just don't make the content, dude. And then he tries to claim that he's going to be doing most of his gambling off camera, but that's not true. He started a whole series where now he's gambling on camera. That's all he does on his main channel now. Like, look at this shit. It's just days and days of him gambling. Almost every day he makes a video and talks about his gambling and his winnings, and he shows himself doing it. Now, the reason that I didn't show anything about Jamani's job is because the only thing in the video is him working. That's it. He just shows him doing a full day of work. It's pretty boring. I don't think anybody wants to watch that, but he's a breakfast attendant now. He makes all the breakfast and then he sits there and watches, make sure they got all the syrup, make sure the cereals are filled. You know what a breakfast attendant does. And honestly, it would have been a win if Jamani didn't start taking his paychecks and gambling with them. Like, cool, you got a job, that's awesome. But now he switched to gambling again, and that W instantly turned into an L. This has caused Jamani to be pretty depressed. In a video where he talks about wanting to be the better version of himself, he details how bad his life is getting. And honestly, it would have been a better video if he just didn't start gambling again. He very well could have been making a video about how he just got a new job and how he was saving up his paychecks, but now the video is about how he's using those paychecks to gamble and how depressed he is. It's pretty sad to see.
What's up? It's Jamani. Currently at home, laying down, feeling bad for myself, thinking, you know, I feel like I have no other choice but to be the best version of myself, you know, whatever that is, because it's like I'm not gonna survive doing what I've been doing. You know, I'm not self-disciplined enough to do what I need to do, and I know what I want to do. You know, I haven't changed anything that I've wanted to do since I was like 7 years old. Whether that's make music or make film or, you know, anything within the entertainment business. So it's like I have the ability to make content. You know, and you know, I was at the casino yesterday. I lost. You know, that's neither here or there, but it's part of, you know, why I'm so. It's an addiction, obviously, and it's I've allowed it to bring me to the worst version of myself. And you know, yesterday was Valentine's Day, and you know, I was feeling alone and miserable, and you know, that plays a part in why I'm recording this, because I just been thinking about feeling like I feel like I need love, I feel like I need validation, but I know I need to validate myself. I need to accept myself and build a relationship with myself, because I've never had that. I've always been emotionally dependent on, you know, people around me, whether it's friends or family or girls, or you know, just people in the general public. Like, I just felt, you know what I'm saying, I never had a strong sense of who I was, you know, only what I wanted to be. But you know, I have to know who I am, and you know, start from there. And it's like, I know this.
You know, I didn't catch it at first. This is a re-upload from February. It's crazy how much of this applies to what's going on right now. It shows the endless cycle that this dude is in. He'll stop gambling, be good for a while, everything will seem fine, but the views will be low. So he'll go back to gambling and then make a video about how he went back to gambling and about how depressed he is. It's just an endless cycle that keeps repeating itself. And I think the only way his addiction is truly going to stop is if he stops posting online. That's what's feeding into it. The fact that people watch him gamble and the fact that people want to see him fail, and then he gets paid through YouTube AdSense, you know, he sees that as an incentive to continue doing it. So he continues doing it, and then he makes videos crying about how depressed he is and about how he's addicted to gambling. So just never stops. He's able to stop gambling for extended periods of time. Like 4 weeks is a pretty good amount of time, but then he goes back because his views are low on YouTube. So it just keeps continuing. We'll have to wait and see what Jamani does in the future, but it seems like he's going to keep recording himself gambling because that's what gets him views. No matter what, this dude's just going to continue. He might stop for a little bit just to make himself feel better, but then once he sees that the views are down, once he sees that people don't want to see him do well, he's going to start gambling, when in reality he should just stop uploading and focus on himself. That's the most important thing to do, because it seems like he made his channel as like motivational content, right? To show his struggles and to show how far he's come. But in reality, it's just shown how far he's dropped. With that being said, that's the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you watched all the way to the end, you're the best. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.